Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Thomas Partey is back in full training with the Arsenal squad as we prepare for Brighton on Sunday. That is a massive boost for Mikel Arteta as injuries are actually taking a toll on us. Tomiyasu is injured. Fabio Vieira is out as well. Thomas Partey coming back means that we have a cover at right back, but then we also have someone to partner with Declan Rice or even take some time off Declan Rice's shoulders as well in this Arsenal team. So that one is a massive one. We'll be talking about some other injury updates. Tomiyasu as well, his calf injury, an update on Gabriel Martinelli's illness, Fabio Vieira's mid-January groin comeback, and of course, we'll be talking about the future of Thomas Partey. Arsenal want a new signing in January in midfield, and that player could be Zubimendi, Joao Palhinha, or Douglas Luiz. Does that mean that Thomas Partey's time at Arsenal is getting closer to an end? And what do you think we should do when Thomas Partey comes back? Does he get straight into the starting 11? Does he join up with Declan Rice? Does he actually come back at right back and displace displace Benjamin White? What do we do with Partey? We might be excited that he's coming back, but we might actually never see him play for Arsenal again, and that is a theory I'm willing to explore in this video. So hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well, and let me know whether Partey deserves to get back in the starting 11 right away. Because again, listen, these boys, Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, they've done well ever since Thomas Partey picked up that injury. They've actually been there for Arsenal defensively. This team has been doing very well, and we've been controlling midfields as well. So, do we distract the order and get Partey back in the starting 11, or do we actually just say, listen, you found these players, they've been doing a good job, you've got to sit on the bench and either wait or your time at Arsenal is over. But let's start off with the big one, which is Thomas Partey getting back in training. You can see the pictures there on your screen. He is with the Arsenal squad. Of course, he's not the only Arsenal player to be back this week. Emile Smith-Rowe is also coming back from injury. We did see him in a few moments in that PSV game over the midweek. So Partey and Emile Smith-Rowe coming back. I think Mikel Arteta will consider himself lucky, but also very, very, fortunate, because this is the truth. Partey and Smith-Rowe coming back in December, when you have around 5 games, the whole month, and that is just the Premier League, you have almost a game every 3 days or almost every 2 days. I think it's a massive boost. There are so many games in December. We have to play Liverpool. We'll have to go to West Ham as well, and then Brighton. We played PSV, and we've already played, Aston Villa. So many games in December. It's always action packed. It's very good for you to have a broader squad and a bigger squad. Actually, I think January and December, those are the months where you need a massive squad, where you need to have a bigger squad. That is when most clubs have a problem. Because when if Declan Rice picks up an injury right now and Thomas Partey is not available, you only have Jorginho. And should Jorginho pick up an injury, then it's over. And also still, in January, players play a lot of games, like many games, and that means that when they get to February and March, they're more susceptible to pick up those long-term injuries, or even those injuries that keep them for the rest of the campaign. So you look at Saliba last season and how he picked up that injury in the new year. Until the end of the campaign, we didn't see him again. So it's never easy. It's absolutely never easy. So Thomas Partey coming back for me is a very, very good timing. It's very good timing. And Mikel says that he's been working very hard to come back. He has sped up his rehabilitation process, and that is one of the reasons why he is coming back this early. He was expected to be back January, maybe late January or early January, right? But him trying to push the boundaries, trying to push the limits to come back early, that is again another sign of a positive player. That's another sign of a brilliant player who really wants to be on the pitch a lot of the time and all the time as well. So now, what happens with Thomas Partey? I think that's the big question. It's good news for us. It's good news for Ghana, by the way, because it's December, and I think Ghana will be in the AFCON in January. So it's very, very good news. But the question is, what exactly do we do with Thomas Partey? How do we treat him? How do we treat Partey when he comes back? Does he get straight back in the starting 11? In my opinion, that is not the case. It's not the case. I don't think Partey deserves to come from wherever he's come from and come and, claim minutes. Now, he's an important player. He is a key player, and I'm not trying to disrespect Partey. I'm not trying to say he's not good enough. He's not good enough to play for Arsenal anymore. I think he's still a quality player, and Arsenal will benefit from his presence big time. Big time. But what I think as well is when you have Kai, Trossard, Odegaard, and Declan Rice, players that have held this, team and lifted it to where we are right now, I think Thomas Partey will have to sit on the sidelines, will have to sit on the bench for some time until he can prove to us, and until he can prove to the manager that now he's either better than Kai or Odegaard or Ben White at right back to come back in the starting 11. Personally, I don't want him at right back, so that's not even an option. I don't want to see him at right back. It is something that Mikel Arteta experimented with, and I don't think the experiment results will ever be released. I don't think those were successful experiments. They were not. So he's not going at right back because Tomiyasu coming back as well later on. Tomiyasu can cover there. He's not playing at left back. The only place where he can play is going to be midfield. And I think Declan Rice has done a very good job there. So the Partey, Rice, Odegaard midfield, that one we could see again. But why I am actually against that is Kai Havertz has started picking up the form we want. Kai Havertz has started being the player that we all thought we were signing. A goal scorer, but also a physical, tall guy that gives us that kind of target man, and also a physical midfielder that fights for the ball and keeps the ball very, very well. So I want your thoughts there, guys. What should happen with Thomas Partey? In my own opinion, and in my defense, by the way, I think it should be by merit. It should be through merit. So Kai right now is the most informed player at Arsenal, player of the month last month. He's got to be playing more football. And I think, Mikel Arteta, we are sorry, and I am very, very sorry. We doubted you. The more he has given Kai game time, the more he has created confidence, the more he has created trust and a bond between him and the player. And the fans now love Kai. I'm not even lying. It's not a debate. Kai Havertz in the Premier League this season has scored against Man City 3 points, has scored against Brentford 3 points. Those are all 1-0 victories, right? Those are all 1-0 victories, and he almost secured a point for Arsenal against Aston Villa. So you're looking at a midfielder who has already brought in 6 points for you with a clean sheet. I think Mikel deserves a lot of credit, and I think Kai Havertz as well deserves a little bit of the benefit of the doubt over Thomas Partey at this point in time, right? But I want your thoughts there, guys, in the comment box below. Right, let's talk about some of the injury updates before we talk about the future of Thomas Partey and why Arsenal are looking at a new midfielder in Zubimendi and Joao Palhinha and what that means for the future of Thomas Partey as well. But before we get into that, Tomiyasu's calf injury will keep him out until the new year. Now, this one is a bad one because Tomiyasu, again, another player who has been really in form, another player who has given us every single quality he can actually provide in the last few weeks. He's been immense, absolutely immense. And I'm one of those people who had started thinking, how about Tommy at right back, Ben White as the backup, right? The advantage with Tommy and the advantage why you want Tomiyasu to be the backup is Tommy actually covers a wide range of positions. Right back, left back, center back. He can also play as a midfielder as well. That is why I want him to be outside the starting 11 because he can come in at any point in time and cover for anyone. But Tommy has been very good. I think we have seen the Tomiyasu we saw when he had just signed for Arsenal, and we have also seen the Tomiyasu that we haven't yet seen at Arsenal. It's very, very poor. It's very, very bad news that he's going to be coming back until he's not coming back until 2024. But early January, you expect him to be coming back, right? You expect him to be back. It's a calf injury. Yeah, they could be tricky. They're tricky ones. I don't think Mikel will want to rush him. So McTominay is out of the Brighton game. Gabriel Martinelli will be available for the Brighton game. Now, he had a little illness that was reported over midweek, and that's why he wasn't involved in the squad that went to play PSV Eindhoven away in the Netherlands in Eindhoven. But Gabriel Martinelli, the information I have is that he will be okay and he's coming back against Brighton. That's one player you don't want to pick up an injury. That is one player you don't want anything happening to him. I think Martinelli and Saka right now, I think actually Martinelli, because Trossard is off form. So I don't want anything to happen to Gabriel Martinelli because Emile Smith-Rowe and Leandro Trossard, the two players that suitable to actually replace him or to cover for him, are actually really dreadfully off form. With Saka, I think Gabriel Jesus has played there, and we have seen some immense quality from him at the right-hand side on the right wing. But with Gabriel Martinelli, nothing should happen. Fabio Vieira, again, Fabio Vieira has a groin injury. He did undergo surgery. He will not be coming back until mid-January. And when we talk about mid-January, we are talking about until the January international break is over, because I think the international break will come at around January 10th to 15th, maybe actually 10th to around 20th, right? So you'll have that extended period of time. I really feel bad for Fabio Vieira. This was supposed to be his campaign, and you look at the way he started this campaign. You look at the impact. You look at how he's been behaving as a player, the physical attributes, the mindset, the attitude, the positivism. This was supposed to be his campaign. But there is a problem. Mikel Arteta, as a manager, cannot sit there and wait for you. So he's gone and signed Kai Havertz, a player who can actually give him the quality and the goals. And then you have Martin Odegaard, who's ahead of you. Declan Rice can also play in both positions. He's ahead of you. So I think with Fabio Vieira, it's a little bit unlucky. He's so unlucky. You don't want to pick up an injury as bad as a groin injury, undergo surgery, yet you're not even among the first three options on the manager's fingertips. Right? So it is Rice, Odegaard, Kai, Trossard, Vieira. Those are five options before the manager thinks about you. And in the end, I won't be surprised if Fabio goes out on loan eventually, or Arsenal decide to sell him. I won't be surprised if he's one of the few projects that we've invested money in, but then the club and the manager decide, we will sell. Let's sell. Let's move on. It's not worked out. Just like Albert Sambilokonga. But with Fabio Vieira, I know the quality is there, but coming back in mid-January, unless Arsenal really suffer injuries, there is a possibility that we will have signed another midfielder. So imagine Rice, Palhinha, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, and Emile Smith-Rowe all ahead of you by the time you come back. He's going to struggle. He's really, really going to struggle, with getting game time. Julien Timber, SCL injury, coming back next year. Tune in on to Cossy's Arsenal podcast because I have a full update on Julien Timber coming up for you very, very soon. So that is the injury update. Thomas Partey comes back, and the rest of the players that are actually out, that is what I can tell you, at the moment. However, there is a story coming out from the Mirror today, and they're saying that Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is keen to sign Joao Palhinha, which is likely to spell the end of Partey's time at the Arsenal or with the Gunners. That is what the Mirror have written. You can see it there right on your screens. They're saying that Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants to sign Joao Palhinha, and that could spell the end of Thomas Partey's time right with Arsenal. So this is what I said, and this is what I was asking about. Partey comes back, where does he play? Partey comes back, who drops? Partey comes back, what do we get? Well, because with Thomas Partey, he will push Declan Rice further forward. Declan Rice is not a goal scorer. With Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, you have a combination of two players that will guarantee you defensive security and goals. I think with Partey, he guarantees you game control. He guarantees you absolute security. But he pushes Declan Rice into the 8. Declan Rice will not score the goals. Kai Havertz will score the goals and has already started scoring the goals. So what is the future, realistically, for Thomas Partey? I think this is the future. I think the future is that Arsenal sign a midfielder and Thomas Partey will be gone. There's so many clubs interested in him, and I'm not saying I want him gone. I'm not saying I don't want to see him close to the club anymore. I want him to play. I want him to be part of the squad. But if I'm honest, if you are Thomas Partey and the club is looking at Joao Palhinha, Douglas Luiz, Martin Zubimendi, you've got to start finding a club. You've got to tell your agent, time is up. All right? Rice is ahead of you at the moment. If they bring Joao Palhinha, who is fit and more reliable, I think he comes ahead of you as well as Thomas Partey. So for me, this is what I'm going to say last on this video. If Arsenal can get Joao Palhinha, Douglas Luiz or Martin Zubimendi, I would be okay with Thomas Partey going. What I don't want to see is Arsenal gambling with letting go of Thomas Partey without getting a clear, concrete option that is reliable. That is the only thing I would say. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Today, I will be doing my preview on the Brighton game. It's coming out very, very soon. We'll be reacting to Mikel Arteta's press conference, which is also coming out very soon. A bit of a double upload on transfers. I will do a video specifically on Ivan Toney, and I'll do a video specifically on the strikers that Arsenal are linked with, and why I think Victor Osimhen and that new contract, Arsenal have a major chance to sign him in the summer. 130 million euros. A release clause by Aureli De Laurentiis. This could be our chance, and this could be our only chance to sign Victor Osimhen. I'll speak to you right in the next one.